Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Good morning, good people of this great nation called Nigeria. Thank you for being with us on the program today. Morning Spring is the name of the program, and of course, this is what we do here at this time, speaking to issues, critical stakeholders about the betterment of our dear nation, Nigeria, giving you proper and authentic information that will, influence your decision-making process so that we become a better person and our nation will become a better nation, the kind of nation that we are proud of. Femi Ojo is my name. You already know. Thank you for joining me on the program today. And, on the program, look at the headlines. These are stories, major headlines that have made its way to the front page, of our major dailies, and that we do every day. At the other side of that, we then get talking about different issues. Now, stick with me. We know the elephant in the room, so to speak, and it's about the looming protest and different interventions that we are seeing right now, especially from the government. And many persons are saying, wait a minute, all these interventions, especially in the last 3, 4 days, are they geared towards, making the young people to see a reason that, we are with you. You don't really need to hit the street for anything, or it's just, coincidental, or better still, it shows that the government is a listening one. This particular one has listening ears, and maybe that's why they are doing this. You might want to ask me, what are these interventions? Just a few days ago, we learned, especially on the Dangote NNPC issue, that a lifeline has been given, to Dangote and many indigenous refineries that will come up later to say, we are going to be selling crude oil to you in Naira. So no need for the dollar pressure. And that might, show that, yes, this is a committed government. Again, we learned yesterday that the government has said, importation on food products importation tax, fee that people pay for importing food and some other items to be on shelf for now. This should not happen, to show that we are considerate. And maybe when this happens and people pay less, or they are not even paying any tax at all on food items, maybe it might crash the price of food and the inflation will go down. Many things happening, but then we get to look into that. And many persons will say, when they can do all that, people at the end of affairs, why haven't they been doing that? Why haven't they been showing, the empathy that people need to see, especially with the name registration and blocking of people's SIMs that was later reversed to say, it seems there's no coordination somewhere. But then, the ruling party in the country is the APC, All Progressives Congress, and they are saying they are doing their best. Different persons talking. We'll be talking with a critical stakeholder in that particular stance in the course of the program. But right now, I'd like you to just sit back. I'll take a break right now. Very quickly, I will come back, and then we see the juicy headlines from the front pages of our different newspapers in Nigeria for today. Morning Spring is this program, and we are beaming crisply clear, loudly on channel 190 on Star Times DTT, and also on our different social media platforms, especially our YouTube page at Western Spring Television. Stay with me. All right, I will be kicking it off from the front page of the Vanguard for today. Vanguard newspaper, towards a better life for the people. Today, Wednesday, July 31st. By the way, today is the month end, and it's been quite a week. By the way, this is just midweek, but then it's been quite a week. But very especially quite a month, the 7th month. Moving on. Protests. Organizers list convergence points for rallies. Take that again. Protest. organizers list convergence points for rallies. Okay. And quite a very busy headline. I try and do justice to it. Now, take a listen to this and watch Falano Adegborua, MBA to lead meeting with IGP. IGP orders DIGs, AIGs, CPs to provide protection for a protest. And court restricts protest in Lagos to freedom and peace parks. And we have a thinking, not bad government. That's coming from the presidency. And the federal government assures, take that again, federal government declares prisons red zones once against attempted violations. And banks, others ask workers to be vigilant as ASSBIFI expresses concerns. NSAS horror must not recall. Anglican primate begs security agencies and respond promptly to Nigeria's demands. Catholic bishops tell Tinubu. Another writer says ACF rejects planned protest, says 10-day shutdown counterproductive. That's the Arewa Consultative Forum. And why Tinubu can't stop peaceful protest, Secundos. And LP Lagos Patriots pull out of protest. Page 13 of the Vanguard has that particular writer and story. Moving on, Jakonde lecture. Publishers, editors, others point way forward to media survival. And Third Fund laments varsity's monthly 400 million naira electricity bill. You want to believe with me that many higher institutions have been crying, wailing, especially the last few months, about the bill they are getting for the power that they are using. Electricity bill, 400 million naira electricity bill, and this is coming from Third Fund, lamenting on behalf of the universities. Moving on the sporting scene, IOC sacks suspended Nigerian boxer from Games Village as CARS confirms suspension. It's a lot for that athlete who got suspended because of the confirmation of a prohibited substance that was found in his sample, and now we're hearing that the IOC sent the athlete packet. That's a sad one there. And the top strip, Nigeria's Bonny Light price drops. Bonny Light price drops to $79 per barrel, lowest in 7 weeks. Federal government hands over 400 CNG kits to transporters in 4 states. And federal government suspends duty on rice, flour, other essential food items. I said that earlier, dropping of duty payment on some food, and it has been listed here: rice, flour, and other essential items. Learn from Kenya's bitter experience. Bishop won. Interesting one there. And from the Mr. and Mrs. Angle, I'm sorry, darling. My job entails moving around a lot. I'm a field worker. That's coming from Mr. and Mrs. response. That is not an excuse. Even field marshals spend quality time with their families. Interesting one there to say. You might be a field worker, but even those that are called field marshals, they still stay around to spend time with their family. Moving on, The Nation is my next point of call. The Nation newspaper. And call to restrict protesters to freedom, peace parks in Lagos. With riders, George orders police to protest protesters. Bishop, don't follow Kenya Road. This is what we are seeing from the front page of The Nation. And crude sale in Naira will lower inflation and forex pressure, say experts. Brace for more floods. Neymar wants Nigerians. We should take caution right now. And INEC ready with a DO voter list. INEC ready with a DO voter list. And this is credited to the Minister of Interior. When you want to reboot hope that has been down, you need a bit of time. and we are in the right group. All the avenues of engagement and dialogue should be explored before a nationwide protest. That's coming from Tunji Ojo, the Minister for Interior. That's a quote attributed to him, still on the front page of the Nation for today. Top strip, Customs suspends import duties on essential food items, and 80,000 apply for 110 billion naira youth investment fund within 72 hours. Again, 80,000 apply for 110 billion naira youth investment fund within 72 hours. And EFCC grills NACON boss over 90 billion naira hatch fund. And of course, in the middle, you see these array of security men. Show of force, a combined security outfit during the display in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, to show their level of preparedness ahead of the planned protest yesterday. And you can see the lineup is made up of different, security outfits: the Nigerian police, the NSCDC, the FRSC, and, many of them like that. And crude sale in Naira will lower inflation, forex pressure, say expert. That will be all from the front page of the Nation newspaper for today. Moving away from that to the Nigerian Tribune. The Nigerian Tribune for today. Planned hardship protest. Federal government declares prisons red zone. Don't go near, don't move near. And of course, I think it's understandable because of antecedent. Nobody should move close to those zones. And it has been declared red zones, by the way. But I feel our people should be responsible enough, to do everything within the confines of the law. I'm not sure protest has anything to do with correctional facilities. Moving on. And it has a lot of riders with that particular big headline there. And I read it out just right now. IGP advises against street processions. Holds virtual meeting with Falano, Adegburuwa, others. Really, you don't even know what to believe. We're hearing that the IGP, the police command, frowned at protest. Some of their commissioners are saying there is no need for that. Some are saying we will protect. Later, we learn that the police have said, go ahead and protest all you want, but do so peacefully. And then we are hearing that the IGP is still advising against street processions. How is that a protest? By the way, what do I know? Court restricts protesters. Take that again. Court restricts protesters to Freedom Park and Peace Park in Lagos. That is a pronouncement of the court. And soldiers, police, DSS, others in show of force in Ibadan. And handle protest with caution to avoid a repetition of NSAS. Anglican primate tells security forces, let's be restrained rather, and let's exercise caution on both sides, the security operatives and the protesters themselves. Niger Delta stakeholders distance region from plan. And we'll be hearing a couple of former warlords, supporters of government at different levels, in the creek saying we are not part of this as well. And protests have diminished our country. Kenya Bishop. Protests have diminished our country. That's coming from a Kenyan bishop. And Arik Air kicks Askeyamu, others grounding of fleet. Why? What have they done? Is it as it followed due, process and procedure? These are some of the issues. And 2 policemen killed as kidnappers invade church and abduct former commissioner in Delta. This is a lot. 2 policemen killed as kidnappers invade church and abduct former commissioner in Delta. This is really, truly sad. And court dismisses Autumn's suit against Benue government. Court dismisses Autumn's suit against Benue government. And Jakonde Memorial Lecture, How Media Can Survive Current Changing Landscape. Media chiefs, again, Jakonde Memorial Lecture, How Media Can Survive Current Changing Landscape. That's coming from media chiefs, especially with the current economic challenge. Staying afloat is a lot of work, really, and it takes some guts and some steel to do that. Moving on, nation's crude oil daily production of 1.6 million barrels to hit 2 million by December. That is coming from the NNPCL. Nation's crude oil daily production that is currently at 1.6 million barrels to hit 2 million by December. And I dare say Nigerians are waiting how that will happen. 80,000 applications received for 110 billion naira youth investment fund in 72 hours. That is coming from the federal government. 80,000 applications received for 110 billion naira youth investment fund in 72 hours from the government. And federal government suspends import duties, taxes on essential food items. Many persons have been calling for that for a long time, especially for months. Since the skyrocketing inflation, the general inflation, of course, the all-time food inflation that we are seeing right now, more than 40%. But then, just yesterday, we are hearing that the government have said, okay, essential food imports, essential import duties and taxes on essential food items should be dropped for now. By the way, maybe that might really be a plus, and that is part of what we are following for now. By the way, that will be all from the pages of front pages of different dailies that I've been able to bring to you today. And I'll take this break right now. When we come back, we speak to issues as we usually do, especially the state of the nation, the state of the polity, the state of the looming protest, different calls from different angles. Some are against, some are just indifferent. Some just want their nation to be okay. Either they are protesting or they are not protesting. And of course, we've seen protests against protesters as well. Nigeria is quite an interesting country. And yesterday as well, there were some calls in some streets of a major city threatening the people never to dare come out. And when we say, are there Nigerians that are more Nigerian than others? We will look into these and more as we speak to a critical stakeholder on this particular matter. What we do here is to have conversations, deep, frank ones, that will allow you to make better choices geared towards having a better Nigeria. Stay with me. The program will be back.